Hey, this is Gary Talley, and I want to welcome you to my Dadgum podcast. I'm going to be talking about my experience in the music business, playing with the Box Tops in the 60s, the Beach Boys, Jimi Hendrix, the Doors, a lot of interesting stuff. I'm going to be interviewing other musicians. We're going to be talking to my mom, Nita Talley, and how she learned how to play and sing. We're going to be talking about how to play a musical instrument, how to learn how to play, and some misconceptions people have about learning to play an instrument, especially guitar. I want to remind you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to my website, garytalley.com, and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Let me know what you want to talk about, and stay tuned. We left off the last podcast. Swain Schaefer and I had gone to Paris from London. Now we got back to London in time for our big press conference. And in '69, the two big news stories of the year, all over the world, I guess, were number one, Neil Armstrong walking on the moon, and number two, the Sharon Tate killings in L.A. So to the people in the U.K., America was this terrible, violent, dangerous place. And more of the questions, I think, were about violence in America than were about music, actually. Not long after the press conference, a day or two later, remember we were in London for a couple of weeks. We're walking down the sidewalk, and in front of a tube station, a subway station, there's a newsstand, and on the cover was a picture of Charles Manson being arrested, standing between two deputies. You know, he looked real small, and they had found him hiding in a kitchen cupboard or something, and the headline said he was responsible for the Sharon Tate killings. So Alex and Cleve were looking at that picture, and Cleve said, "That's Charlie. That's that Charlie guy that was at Dennis Wilson's house with those weird girls." So back in the summer of '69, Alex and Cleve, our road manager, had stayed at Dennis Wilson's house. They visited the Beach Boys and stayed at Dennis's house. And Charles Manson was also staying there with some of the same girls that committed the murders. Dennis would just take in people that he met on the beach and let them drive his sports cars. In fact, I think Manson wrecked one of Dennis's sports cars on the beach during that time period. He was trying to get a deal as a songwriter, and I think the Beach Boys had even demoed one of his songs. And then I remembered back in the summer driving by Cleve's house, and he was back from L.A. early. And I saw his car, and I stopped and went in, and I said, "Why did you guys come back early?" And they said there was this strange guy at Dennis's house, and he had these songs, and he had these girls following him around that were like his groupies or something. And it was just so weird that we left. And Alex had a story about they were in Malibu, and he was going to go to a little convenience store and get some cigarettes or something. Anyway, Charles Manson asked him to bring him a gallon of milk or a half gallon of milk. Anyway, so Alex goes to the store, and he forgets to bring Charles Manson's milk back. And Charles Manson was mad at him, and I can just imagine later on finding out that this crazy guy that was mad at you was Charles Manson. Anyway, we had a very memorable time in London, and we flew back to Memphis in time for Christmas, 1969. So that's the end of 1969. Thanks for listening to my Dadgum podcast. I want to invite you to interact with me by going to my website, garytalley.com. When you get there, you can book me to play gigs, or teach guitar workshops, or book individual guitar lessons. You can follow the Box Tops touring schedule. You can link to my YouTube channel and subscribe to that. See videos of my mom, Nita Talley, singing and playing piano, and buy my mom's CDs. I play live around Nashville in a few bands. I have a duo with Sally Slade and Barry called Take Two, and we've got a Facebook page. I do recording around Nashville, playing guitar on songs, and I can do that for you too. Thanks for listening.